She's dying. Cried little girl. Single dad saves millionaire CEO mom from ex-husband attack. Chapter 1, The Screams in the Alley. The night air in downtown Chicago carried a faint drizzle, blurring neon lights into streaks of blue and gold. Ethan Cole tightened his worn jacket and hurried his twin daughters, Lily and Emma, along the narrow street. It was almost 9:30 p.m., far too late for little girls to be out. "Daddy, my shoes are wet," Emma pouted. "I know, sweetheart," Ethan said, lifting her into his arms. "Almost home, okay?" He'd just finished his second shift at a repair garage. It wasn't glamorous work, but it paid the rent and kept food on their small table. He wasn't one to complain. Life had already taken enough from him, his wife in a car crash 3 years ago, and his dreams long before that. As they turned into a quiet side street, a sharp cry pierced the night. "Let me go. Please." Lily froze. "Daddy, someone's crying." Ethan's instincts kicked in. He motioned for the girls to stay behind a parked car, whispering, "Don't move. I'll be right back." He moved closer, his boots splashing through puddles. At the end of the alley, under a flickering streetlight, a woman was being dragged by a man in an expensive suit. She was fighting back, her heels scraping against the pavement. "Catherine," the man hissed, "you think you can ruin me? I made you." "Michael, stop!" she gasped. "You're hurting me." Ethan didn't think he acted. "Hey!" he shouted, charging forward. "Let her go." The man turned, fury flashing in his eyes. "Stay out of this." But Ethan didn't stay out. He swung, landing a punch that sent the man stumbling backward. The woman fell to the ground, clutching her side. "Run!" Ethan barked at her. Instead, she whispered, voice trembling, I can't breathe." Her eyes rolled back, and she collapsed. From the street behind, 2 small voices screamed, "Daddy! She's dying." Chapter 2, The Rescue. Ethan dropped to his knees, checking her pulse. Weak, but there. A deep gash on her head was bleeding badly. "Hang on," he muttered, pulling off his jacket and pressing it to the wound. The man Michael was gone. Probably fled when he saw Ethan's strength and the witnesses. He pulled out his phone with shaky fingers, calling 911. "This is Ethan Cole," he said quickly. "There's a woman attacked near 9th and Green Street. She's losing blood, please hurry." Lily and Emma crept closer, their eyes wide with fear. "Daddy, is she going to die?" Lily whispered. "Not if I can help it," he said, wrapping the woman's hand in his. "You hear me? You stay with me, okay?" The woman's eyelids fluttered. My girls," she whispered faintly. "Don't let him." Then darkness took her again. When the ambulance arrived, Ethan rode with her. His daughters sat beside him, holding each other's hands. He didn't even know her name yet, just that she was someone's mother. Chapter 3, The Hospital. Hours later, fluorescent lights glared down on Ethan as he sat in the waiting area. His girls had fallen asleep on his lap. A nurse approached. "Mr. Cole, she's stable. The doctor said you probably saved her life." He let out a long breath of relief. "Can I see her?" The nurse nodded. "She's still unconscious." "But yes." Ethan walked into the ICU. The woman looked fragile under the tangle of wires and bandages. But even then, she radiated something powerful: elegance, confidence, the kind of quiet authority he'd never known. He saw her name on the clipboard, Catherine Hayes. The CEO of Haystech, one of the biggest software firms in the city. He blinked, stunned. That's who I saved. Chapter 4, The Awakening. 3 days later, Catherine opened her eyes to sunlight and the sound of laughter. 2 little girls were sitting by her bed, drawing with crayons. "Hi," Emma said shyly. "You scared us." Catherine smiled weakly. "Did I?" Lily nodded. "You were bleeding. Daddy saved you." Catherine turned her gaze toward the man standing by the window. She recognized him, the man from the alley. "Ethan, right?" she murmured. He nodded. "Glad to see you awake." She looked around, confused. "Where's Michael?" "Gone," Ethan said softly. "Police are looking for him." "He won't hurt you again." Catherine's eyes glistened. "You don't know what you've done for me." Ethan shrugged awkwardly. "Anyone would have done the same." But she shook her head. "No, they wouldn't. Chapter 5, Healing. Over the next few weeks, Catherine's visits with Ethan and his daughters became frequent. At first, she wanted to thank him formally. She even tried to offer him money, but he refused. So instead, she offered him a job. "I need someone I can trust to handle logistics at Haystech's community projects," she said one afternoon. "You're reliable, calm under pressure, and you care about people. I saw that the night you saved me." Ethan hesitated. "I'm a mechanic, not an executive." "Maybe," she said with a smile. "But you're also a leader." He accepted. The job changed everything. For the first time in years, he could afford a better home, good schooling for the girls, and he found himself drawn to Catherine's strength, her warmth beneath the steel. Chapter 6, The Return of the Past. But peace never lasts easily. One evening, after a late meeting, Catherine walked out of her office to find a familiar figure waiting in the dark. Michael. He looked disheveled, desperate. "You ruined me," he spat. "You took everything." "Michael, please," she said quietly. "You did this to yourself." Ethan arrived just in time to hear raised voices. He froze, his heart racing, then stepped between them. "Back away," he warned. Michael pulled a knife. "You don't tell me what to do." "It happened fast, too fast." Catherine screamed. Ethan lunged, and the knife sliced across his arm. He didn't stop. He wrestled Michael down until security rushed in. When it was over, Ethan was bleeding but alive. So was Catherine. She pressed her trembling hands to his wound, tears spilling. "You could have died." He smiled faintly. "I'd do it again." Chapter 7, Love Finds Its Way. Weeks passed. The trial put Michael behind bars. Ethan's arm healed slowly, but his heart didn't. Not until the day Catherine showed up at his small apartment, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. "Catherine," he said, surprised. She laughed nervously. "You once told me anyone would help me. But I don't think that's true." "You did when everyone else would walked away." He looked down. "You don't owe me anything." "I know," she said softly. "That's why I'm here. Not because I owe you, but because I want to be here." Lily and Emma peeked from the hallway, whispering loudly, "Daddy, is she your girlfriend?" Catherine burst out laughing. Ethan's face turned red. "Not yet," she said, smiling at the girls. "But maybe someday." Chapter 8, The Promise. Months later, On a warm summer evening, Catherine hosted a charity event for women and children escaping domestic abuse. Ethan stood beside her, proud. When she took the stage, she spoke with emotion that silenced the crowd. Sometimes, she said, the person who saves your life isn't wearing a cape. Sometimes he's just a single father walking home with 2 little girls and a heart big enough to care. Ethan blinked back tears. His daughters clapped the loudest. After the event, Catherine found him watching the skyline. "You did good tonight," he said softly. She smiled. "We did good." Then she slipped her hand into his. "I'm glad you didn't walk away that night," she whispered. He squeezed her fingers gently. "Me too." Epilogue: The light after the storm. A year later, laughter filled a cozy penthouse overlooking the city lights. Lily and Emma were chasing Catherine's young son, the one she'd kept hidden from her abusive ex-husband until she felt safe again. Ethan poured cocoa for everyone, shaking his head with mock frustration. "You'd think billionaires have quieter houses," he teased. Catherine smiled, walking over to kiss him softly. "Not when love finally moves in." Outside, the rain had stopped. Inside, the broken had healed together. Because sometimes, the man who saves your life doesn't just pull you from the dark. He stays, to help you find the light.